Did you guys know that the Emerald Dream is coming out in a couple of days? If you didn't, it's coming out March 25th. And before the new expansion comes out, we are going to be doing a tier list. Before we get started, let's go through what this tier list is and what all categories are for. This is how good I think the legendaries will be in this upcoming set. S means that I think the card is going to be played in almost every single deck it can be, if not every single one it can be. A is it will be played most of the time. B is it is played, but not as often as other legendaries in A. C is niche. I'm talking like you maybe see this card once in 100 games. D, it's not seeing any play. D is the only time you're seeing it is if it gets discovered. Any questions? Nithandra? 7 mana, 7/7 taunt, death rattle, split into 1/1 beetles at the start of your turn, reform with any remaining. It is an undead dragon. This is what the beetles do. They're just 1 mana 1/1s. The problem with this card, at least in my opinion, is that it's too unholy. You need a good deck, and I think that is gonna really stop this from being played. I think the only time you're gonna see this is if it's discovered. Ursoc, our first wild god. 9 mana, 6/14, battle cry, attack all other minions. Death rattle, resurrect any this killed, and it's a beast. Another one for Death Knight here. This one I think is a little bit better than the dragon. The unfortunate reality for Ursoc is, what do you want this in? Because like, it's not good if you're ahead, and it is okay if you're behind. After playing the card multiple times off Maloran, I really think it's not that good. But I still think that might be playable. Yeah, I'll put it to see. Alarashi. 5 mana 5/5 demon beast for Demon Hunter. By the way, this is not biased for my hatred towards the class. Okay, I just want to make it very clear. Battlecry, transform minions in your hand into a random demons. They keep their original stats and cost. Guys, do I really even have to explain? Honestly, like comparatively to the whatever this dragon is, the beetle dragon, it's probably worse. Like it might be the worst legendary in this entire set. I just don't think you ever want to play this. Omen, 10 mana 6/12 rush, wind fury, death rattle, deal 1 damage to all enemies. Improves after this attacks, and of course it's a demon and a beast. The more important thing here is that it will deal 3 damage if you get to attack twice. Again, the problem with this is like what Demon Hunter deck wants this. In my opinion, the best Demon Hunter deck will be the Starship one that's coming out. Like we've already seen it. I just don't see a world where Demon Hunter really wants to play this. I am actually a huge fan of this that probably put this in D, to be honest. I think a lot of you guys might put this in C, but I really don't see you playing this. Forest Lord Cenarius, 10 mana 5/8, choose thrice, give your other minions +1/+3, or summon a 5/5 ancient with taunt. This is what the ancient looks like, just a nice 5/5 with taunt. This one's a little weird. I think for Druid, there might be a reason for you to actually want to play it because it does fit in a variety of different decks. It might be too slow for aggro though, is the problem. What do I see the best deck for Druid actually being? Maybe the Imbue package. Druid is actually in a really weird spot in this upcoming rotation because they only have 1 ramp card, and that is New Heights from Perils in Paradise, which Warrior also gets to use. That's kind of concerning. I don't know if Druid really wants to play a 10 mana Forest Lord Cenarius. I think there is maybe a chance, but I think overall, I'm not really seeing it. Like, honestly, I might put it in D. What is going on with this website, by the way? I'll put it in C. Hamul Rune Totem. 5 mana 5/6, start a game. If each spell in your deck is nature, imbue your hero power. Repeat this every 2 spells you cast. So for those of you who don't know, because I'm sure I'm gonna get a lot of questions like this, imbuing is basically replacing your starting hero power. It's only for specific classes, and obviously the starts of the game. This is a start of game effect, which means this is the start of this is the hero power you have at the start of the game. Each time you play 2 spells, you only have to cast 2 spells, any spells, not just nature spells, to actually imbue your hero power. But starting of the game means that all your spells have to be nature. Make that very clear, because anything you discover will still imbue, the coin still works, etc. This is what the plant golem looks. It has no text. It's just jade golems with extra steps. This is a legendary I think is actually pretty good, really depending on what the metagame is, because you do need time to kind of scale up these dudes. If you don't have the time, I think this is unplayable garbage because you just do not want to gimp your whole strategy to run nature cards in this at the start of the game. Will this be good enough? Me personally, I don't think so. Some of you might think that, like, I can't believe how many of you guys are saying S&A. Like, there's no way this is an S&A card. I think this is a B maximum. Brawl Bear Mantle, 5 mana 3/5 Hunter legendary. After you cast the spell, summon a random animal companion. For those of you who don't know, we got the old Huff, we got the old Leok, and we got the old Misha. This is actually a really interesting one. I don't know what deck you want this in. The problem with this card is you need to save spells. And if you don't save spells, it's a 5-minute 3/5. And even if you get a couple animal companions, is this card really worth it? I'm not really sure. I think in a reality where you do get all Huffers and then one Leok and push just OTK out of nowhere, it's really funny. But unfortunately for me, I just don't really see a world where this is going to be playable, chat. I'm going to be honest. I'm going to put in C. I don't think it's dog shit tier. I think people will try it, but I think it's like the 30th card in your deck. Goldrin, 9 mana, 9/9 rush, friendly beast, deal double damage. And obviously it's a beast. Okay, this is the first card on this list I'm actually pretty high up on. The thing is with Imbue, and I think it's really important to mention this, the Imbue for Hunter is give a beast in your hand plus attack in minus mana. That was a horrible way of saying it. For the amount of attack you give a beast, you also reduce its mana cost, which is extremely good for a card like Goldrin, because if you get it to 1, you could do some really wacky combos with this. And there's some really good beasts in the pool. I think this card's really good. I'm thinking that Hunter's gonna like it a lot. I think it's very easy to slot into any deck. If you're playing Imbue Hunter, which I think Imbue is a very, very good deck for Hunter, especially when we get the rest of the tools, this card will be playable. All right, here we go. What's this guy's name? Kwanzu, the owl. 3 mana 3/4 battle beast for Mage. Battlecry, discover a spell, choose to keep it or put it on top of your opponent's deck. I think mechanically it's got a lot of spice to it. I do like the fact that you could put a card on your opponent's deck, but the problem with the card like this, it's not really like a legendary. I wish it was an epic, or I wish it was a rare, but it's not bad. Like, I think this one's just very easy to slot into a variety of different decks. 3 mana 3/4 beast, fine. Discover a spell, fine. And then you have the option after. I definitely do think it's more playable than a lot of other legendaries we've seen so far. So for that reason, there's not much to say here. It's like a C. Like, it might be your 30th card, but it's fine. Asina, 8 mana 6/8 Battlecry. If 20 friendly minions have died this game, deal 20 damage split among all enemies and is an undead. This one is also extremely important due to the imbue that Mage has, which is a deal damage like arcane missiles and summon X amount of wisps. That way you do generate a lot of wisps throughout the game, and you also put constant pressure on your opponent, and this is a very good way of finishing it, which means I do think Asina is going to be pretty good in the Mage deck that runs the Imbue package. The question is the Imbue package going to be good enough to get played? Yeah, I mean, it's just a good card. Like, I feel like if you could run it, you're probably pretty happy. I feel like it's either high C or low B, but I'll put it in B because I do think like it will be playable. I think the Mage deck will be okay. I think it's good. Ursel, 8 mana 9/7 Battlecry. Cast the highest cost spell from your hand as an aura that lasts 3 turns. That's what it looks like. There is a card that they added to this game, or this set, that is for Paladin, that is 7 mana that deals 5 damage with lifesteal to the lowest health enemy minion. Or character, I should say, because it can go face. It's pretty fucking good. That's pretty good. I think this card's fucking crazy, bro. But I think it's A. I just don't know if it's going to be an auto-include in every single Paladin deck. All right, this is the one I've been waiting for. All right, Torith the Unbreaking. 5 mana 3/4 Divine Shield Taunt. Your divine shields take 3 hits to break. Okay, so when we first saw this card, you guys were freaking out. You guys were like, oh my God, this is the greatest card I've ever seen. I thought at the time it was a good card, but not the best thing I've ever seen in my life. I think it's playable, but again, I don't think it's an auto include. After playing with it in the Tavern Brawl, I do think I didn't give it enough credit. It's really fucking annoying. Going against it's miserable, and playing it is very good against specific decks, because if they don't have an answer to get through the divine shield, you delay the game so much. It's so good against just one big minion. It's just a very, very good card. I'll take the L here, chat. I think it's a very good card. I do not think it's an S tier card. I do think it's very easy to slot into Paladin though. So in that case, it's gonna be it. Tyrande, 7 mana 5/7 Battlecry. The next 3 spells you play cast twice. Ugliest art ever. Yeah, what the fuck what's going on there? You actually didn't even put it up. Kind of late. I kind of hate it. I don't know what the vibes are. Obviously, casting spells twice for 3 times is extremely good, and Priest has some really good ones. You just have to time it kind of correctly, but overall, it's pretty great. It's an easy card to slot in. It gets even better when you start mana cheating with your Imbue package for Priests, which is kind of important. It's good value. It can be really good tempo. I don't know. I think for Priest, it's very easy to slot in. Aviana, Loon's Chosen. My God. 9 mana 7/11 Battlecry. Start a 3-turn lunar cycle. When the full moon rises, your cards cost 1 this game. The only way I could really describe this card is if you get to play this and you still survive after it has been 3 turns, you probably already won the game regardless. So do you need this card in your deck? Absolutely not. Is it fun as hell? Yeah. You could probably do some pretty wacky stuff with this, but I'm pretty confident the only time you're really going to see this, at least for this upcoming expansion, is going to be discovered, which is why I'm like 100% confident to do. Renaferal the Malignant. Or is it Renferal? Renferal, that sounds correct. 3 mana, 3/3, Battlecry trap 1 random card in your opponent's hand for a turn. It's also a beast. It's like a spider, I guess. So this one's actually extremely hard to evaluate because I don't know if we really have ever had a card like this. The way you could think of it is if you get this up enough, you could stop your opponent from playing like any card in their hand. Like they're only top decking in a sense, which can be really frustrating. The problem is like, do you have enough ways to bounce? I don't know. I think it's pretty meme though, unfortunately. It's kind of interesting. I don't know if it's unplayable. I think it might see play. I don't think it's unplayable. I think Rogue might want to have it. Shaman, 9 mana, 7/7, Battlecry, fill your hand with copies of cards from your opponent's deck. They cost 3 less and it's a beast. This one is a puzzler for sure, especially for Rogue. You're spending your whole turn doing this and hopefully you have enough hand space for this to be worth it. Now the thing is, chat, this card's interesting because it takes random cards from your opponent's deck, which means your opponent's often playing good cards. So it's better than just getting like a random card, right? Also it works with tests, which is cool. And it works with their whole package of like stealing cards from your opponent, etc, etc. But the thing is, man, is like Rogue has Protoss cards. So yeah. So I think overall it's not very playable, unfortunately. It's a cool card. Like I'm sure like you might want it, but I just don't see it. I'm just gonna be honest, chat. I'm putting this in D. It's fucking cooked. Onara? 9 mana, 5/11. At the end of your turn, play the top 3 cards from your deck and it's a beast. Chat, here's the thing. This is not good. Almost in every circumstance, you play cards for their effect, not just summon random stats on the board, unless there is a really, really good way of picking the top 3 cards from your deck, which there is in Perils in Paradise. But you're probably not setting this up. Also, it's 9 mana. I think it's a cool card to get from like Evolving, which is kind of cool. But for the most part, I just never see this. Like you never want to play this, right? Get in there, champ. Can I move you down now? I literally can't grab it. I just want you to know. Oh, we're back. Now here's one I actually think is pretty spicy. Marithra, 6 mana, 4/4, Battlecry resurrect all different friendly minions that cost 8 or more. This is important because the imbue package that Shaman gets, which is basically evolving for a singular target, reminiscent of the Death Knight hero card from Knights of the Frozen Throne. And obviously the more you imbue, the more mana the minion will evolve. And I think it's very easy to get a bunch of different 8 costs over the course of a game. It also works in a variety of different ways, right? It doesn't have to be just evolved. It seems good. Now the question is, do I think the imbue package for Shaman will be playable in 2K25 with the rotation? Pretty good card. Actually a huge fan of this. It's an easy B. Okay, I can't pronounce this one for my life. This is Agamaggan, I think. Also known as Agamaggan. Battlecry, the next card you play cost opponent's health instead of mana up to 10. Now, the most important thing here is that it's up to 10 in the terms of how much health your opponent can spend on a card. You could play this card and play your Ceaseless and you're like the happiest person in the world. I tried doing that with the Ceaseless at 40, didn't let me play it. Oh, okay, interesting. I thought that's how it would work. Interesting. I take it back then. This card's fucking atrocious. Why am I playing this? I guess like, I shouldn't say atrocious, because in theory it's you get an 8/9 and you do damage to your opponent and you get to play a different card. That's not bad. That's probably good. You need to be okay with spending 10 mana on this, unless you get it from Malorn, which is a completely different thing. I don't think it's unplayable. I think it's a C tier kind of, Andrew. All right, let's talk about a big boy here. Wallow the Wretched. 7 mana, 6/6. While this is in your hand or deck, it gains copy of every dark gift given to your minions. Chat, I don't know about you guys, and I've said this the entire reveal season. I am really up on dark gifts. I think dark gifts is a really powerful mechanic, and now that I've played a lot of games with them, I'm still really in that opinion. Like, it is a crazy good card, and it feels just so good because over the course of the game, you're fighting for board while making like a ginormous threat that your opponent actually has to think about the entire time. Seems very, very good, and I think this will be Warlock's most prominent win condition in the game, other than maybe like Kill Jaded. I'm pretty up on this card. I'm pretty sure you're playing this in like every Warlock deck as long as Dark Gifts are in. I think this is like my first S tier card. Okay, now we move on to Warrior. Tortola, 10 mana, 1/3, taunt elusive. After this takes damage, gain 1 armor and give this minion +1 attack. Probably one of the most interesting cards we've ever gotten in Hearthstone. Now, the thing is that there are ways to cheat this out. There are ways to resummon this, and this is annoying as fuck to get through. A lot of decks are gonna have trouble with this, and this card single-handedly might make it so that the Black Knight is played in almost every deck because of how annoying it is. I think because you could cheat it out, it's very good. Like I'm pretty confident Warrior's playing this a lot. Okay, chat, I'm biased towards this one because I want this one to be very good. Why Sandre or Yasandra? Whatever you want to say it. 7 mana, 8/5 taunt, death battle summon a random dragon for each time this card has died this game. And it's a dragon. Here's the problem with this card, man. It's like, I think you need to cheat it out. And because you can't cheat it out, because if you try to chemical spill it, it just dies. And then you can't use the location on it, like the whole package. It just sounds so bad. But if this card gets going, it is so annoying to deal with. If it had 6 health, this card would be broken, by the way. I think it's too slow, unfortunately. I really want this card to be playable. I don't think it's unplayable. Like, I don't think it's D. I think it's like C. Like, I think you could play it if you wanted to, and it still might. It's probably fine because it's Warrior, but I think there's just better packages. That's the thing. Let's talk about one of the GOATs. Nightmare Lord Xavius. 4 mana, 4/4 battlecry. Discover a minion from your deck and give it a dark gift. I was talking about Wallow, how good I think dark gifts are. This card tutors a minion from your, well, not tutors, but it gives you a minion from your deck and makes it better. And some of the combinations have won me games on the spot, bro. Card is very good. It's also a demon, which is somewhat relevant. Means you could get it from Kill Jaden, etc., etc. I think it's insane. I actually think it's like an auto include in like so many decks. I think it's better than Wallow, but it's going to take me too long to move it over. I think it's so good. I just don't know if there's like a better legendary in this, except for one. And we'll get there in a second. Okay, again, I'm going to pronounce this wrong. Shala Drazil. Please tell me that's correct. 7 mana. Get all 5 dream cards. If you played a higher cost card while holding this, corrupt them. So if you've been playing Hearthstone for a while, you know what the nightmare cards are, or the dream cards are. There's Nightmare, there's Ysera Awakens, there's Laughing Sister, there's Emerald Drake, there's Dream. You're really happy with Dream for the most part. Isn't Dream 0 mana now as well? I think it got buffed. Ysera Awakens is so good. The fact that you can get like a neutral board clear is like pretty decent. The more important thing is if you do corrupt them, the cards become insane, which is, you know, Corrupted Laughing Sister, Corrupted Dream, Corrupted Awakening. They're all like very good, and they're fucking 4 mana, 14/12, my guy. What the hell? This card seems very good. The problem is, how do you play it? 7 mana is a lot. You want to corrupt this. There's a couple cute interactions, by the way. For instance, I think for Warrior, if you get if you can generate a nature spell, you get like this is a guaranteed card. For a lot of classes, I should say. Not every class is nature spells. I think this card is playable in very specific decks. I don't think it's an auto include. I don't think you're going to see in a lot of decks. I think it is fine. It's probably B tier. I think most of the cards are like pretty good. Malorn the Way Watcher. 8 mana, 8/6. Battlecry. Discover a legendary wild god if you've imbued 4 times. Set its cost to 1. We have gone through every wild god. Now, here's the thing for this is that if you can make them cost 1 mana, then they get a lot better. A lot better. And most importantly, this card can corrupt this, which is great. This can fit into a variety of different decks. It's also a beast, which is kind of relevant. It makes a lot of these wild gods playable. And I talked about how in this tier list, some of these are only going to be played because they're discovered. This is the sole reason you're playing with it. I'm pretty confident this is an S tier as well. Seems very good. Okay, Neralex, Herald of the Flight, 7 mana, 7/7. Your dragons cost 1. Chat, mana cheating is great, right? I love mana cheating. Before I get to this one, let's go to the next one, because I think the next one's very important with this. Let's go to the next one real fast before I get to Neralex. Ysera Emerald Aspect, 9 mana, 4/12. Start a game, increase both players' maximum mana by 5. Battlecry, gain 3 mana crystals. It's a dragon. The reason I'm going to talk about this card first is because if you go Neralax into this, you get to play 3 more dragons, which I think is very good. Most importantly, this card does enable some fun strategies if you're playing a slower deck, because you do get to go up to 20 mana. Or sorry, 15 mana, my apologies. I think if you're playing a dragon deck, you're probably pretty happy with this. It also corrupts Shala, which is fine. I'm actually pretty happy with the card overall. I think it's an easy B. I think you can slot it in. Mana cheating is extremely good. Chat, I have a feeling that Zarimi Priest is going to be one of the best decks in the game because there's a lot of dragons and it's extremely easy for you to go Neralax into Zarimi into other dragons. We're going up. Hold on, I hit the button by accident. Hey, get back down here. And because it's neutral, it's very easy to slot it into almost any deck that is running dragons. The question is, how many classes want to run dragons? Well, quite a bit. Quite a bit. I think it's pretty obvious. We have spoken about mana cheating over Hearthstone's history for ever since its inception, that mana cheating is broken. And yeah, I mean, I think the only reason it's not an S is because you're not putting in like every single deck. It's just very playable in the decks that want it. Overall, chat, this is my tier list. What do you guys think? Isn't it great? I think I did a great job. I think this is like 100% accurate. I think it's good. The only problem I have here is that this card's too low, but pretty fun card. Honestly, like looking at the list here, hold on. Should be like that. Should be like that.